Hello, welcome to Gist with Esse today. How are you guys doing? I hope you're keeping safe. I hope you're observing social distancing. I hope you're washing your hands regularly. And I hope that you're using your disinfectant as much as you can. Okay, so on Gist with Esse today, we're not going to waste too much time because today is about laughter. It's weekend, so it's time to unwind. Yes, I've got our guest here already. We're going to be adding him up. Hi, Ajo Soft, I can see you. Oh, Didi Alagwa, thanks for joining us. Yeah, so we're waiting for our guest to join us. His name is Saco,
Yes,
senior
yes. Okay,
of comedy.
I need to remove this mask. Hi, this mask.
Are you coming from outside or something?
Yeah, I'm coming from outside.
Oh, I
How it
see.
is?
I'm good. How are you? Good to see you. Hey, I hope the network is going to let us enjoy this show today. Okay, let's just chill a bit for him to get settled and find where the network won't be so shaky. Yeah, so our guest is known as Saco, the senior advocate of comedy. He's an MC or compare if you like, and he's also a stand-up comedian. Asking that, but for a very long time, I've known him. He's been doing comedy for as long as I've known him. He's going to sign back in once he gets a steady network. Yes, so like I was saying before, are you guys bored yet with the lockdown? I'm bored out of my mind, I tell you. I can't wait for life to go back to normal. Luckily, most countries are easing the lockdown, and people are starting to get back to their normal routines. But it's going to take a while. Hang in there. It's better for it's better that we're safe. Yeah. Okay. We're adding him back on now. It's better to be safe than sorry. So please make sure that you adhere to all the government guidelines in whatever country that you are. This will soon pass. It's getting better, so we know it will soon pass. Yes, Sako. I can't wait. I've known him for over 10 years, 2020. Yeah, about 11 to 12 years, and he's been doing comedy for longer than that. We're still waiting for him. Have this Niger connection, Sha. I'm sure he's trying to get a good spot. In Nigeria, you have to, I don't know if he's going to have to go and climb on top of his roof now to get good network. But whatever it is, we're going to wait for him. Yeah, we're going to wait for him. Yeah, so you guys, you can start sending your questions because what happens as the show is ongoing, I start to ask questions that I see from our viewers. Bros, be like say you go your rooftop. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Sako? Hello. Okay, bros.
Yeah, I
I
think I tried to.
said you go your rooftop, oh.
Uh, I don't.
So you get better network.
Yeah, it's better now, right? It's better now.
Yeah, it's better now.
Yeah.
Try
Thank
Nigeria. I
you.
said network for no they feel.
What I go do? No, I thought it is well. Well, yes, thank you, sir. No, 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 no problem. Emma, worry. Yes, Emma, my bouncer. Thank you. Thanks. All right.
Say no be another
I'm good.
motor you run so
No, no, no. Now my car. Now my car. Now my car.
it's okay. I remember your first car.
Yes, Accra legend. That car almost collect. He collected battery, not almost. There was nothing he did not collect from me. He collected blood. We even used anointing oil, but I think it did not work. Ah, no, no, that car was sent. You know, for you to buy a car from a mechanic is the most dangerous mistake in your life.
No, I know. I've had that experience, trust me.
Ah, no, 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 no. There are some cars that,
But then when it
especially
was
when
a
it comes.
celebration, you said don't buy car. You were jubilating.
Yeah,
Okay,
so yeah, so yeah, so I didn't know I bought. I didn't know I bought a liability. How is this?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good. Awesome. Awesome.
I can see Madam is taking very good care of you. Please help me thank her.
I'll do that. I'll do that. I'll do that. We're taking care of each other. How the
Yeah,
kids? How is
well,
everyone doing?
own bit. I know say
I
you
didn't
know
get
they
that.
fail.
Yes, so yes, so we're good to go. I can hear you now.
Yeah, we're good to go. Yeah. So I've introduced you already. He's the senior advocate of
Yeah.
comedy. He's an MC. Yeah, and I think he's been ready for how many years? I've known him for like 12 years.
Yeah. So I've been doing comedy 2005 officially. So I think
Oh wow.
this year maybe 14 years.
Wow.
I think.
And I've known him for 12 of those years.
No, this year makes it 15 years. Yes, you've known me more about. I think you met me in 2008, 2009, when I came
Yeah.
to get my first platform in your church that time, TSP, the secret
Yes,
place.
yeah. Yeah, true. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, so just us about your humble beginnings, how we all started, why comedy, you know.
Okay, so a few years ago, I used to be a member of the choir. In fact, the first time I came to TSP, I took permission from my choir coordinator to say I wanted to come do comedy in your church. You know, I'd always wanted to be an accountant, or they had always inspired me because it's one thing for me to say I wanted to become an accountant, but one thing for my parents, especially my mom, to have influenced me to say that I wanted accounting. You know, even though that's what I studied, but I realized that I was always very, very happy in church. I was always very happy anchoring events, whether any event. I could go anywhere to anchor events. You know, I'm the first one of 9 children from a polygamous family. I didn't even know where now until 10 years ago. Yeah, I didn't know. Yes, I didn't even know where now until 10 years ago. Yeah, my
Did that
father.
happen?
My father is a Sorry, my father is from a polygamous family. My father is a polygamist. So my mom has 4 children. My father's wife has another 4 children. Then the one in Abuja where he relocated to has one. And you know,
Oh,
we didn't know he even had another child. We already say we're 8 until. Are you hearing me? Because it's kind of echoing.
I can hear you very well. I
Okay,
can hear
so
you
until
very
I
well.
went. Okay,
Hearing. You can't hear, viewers, please indicate you can't hear so you can
I
do
can hear
something
you.
about it.
Okay, so it was until around 2010, so around 2010 that we now. I went to visit my father. I just saw a guy frustrating for me. You know, I thought he was his son. I thought he was his son to the other woman. You know, sorry. Are you hearing me? I thought he was the son of the other woman until I began to ask him, "What is your name?" He now told me his name is something something. And I mentioned my son name, you know, and that's when my father now told me that it was my brother that he didn't want to tell me. So it means that even while he was with my father, he was hallelujah, you know. But but I find God that sorry, I'm trying to move to see a better network. We have to look for network in
Oh,
this
okay,
area.
so that's why you're
Okay,
complaining that it's echoing.
that's why maybe that's why it's echoing. Are you hearing me now? Is it
Yeah,
okay?
I can hear you, but I think the viewers are they are the ones having
Okay,
the echo.
so I think we can I sign out so that we can add me again.
Okay, I can do that, but if you're moving, I think it will keep echoing. So if you're
No, I'm here. I'm not moving again. I'm here. I'm not moving again. I'm here.
okay, is this still echoing?
It's still
Cream cheese.
echoing. It's still echoing. Yeah.
Oh, okay, you can hear the echo as well. Okay,
Yeah, I can hear the echo as well.
okay, so let's sign off and then sign it back in.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, just give us about 2 seconds. He's going to sign back in. He's not driving anymore. Eligible batch. Yeah, he has parked already. So
Yeah. Okay, I'm good.
okay,
It's still echoing. Is it good?
is it better?
Is it good?
Yeah, I'm good at my end. It's just them, but the video is not very clear.
Um, so I think I just have to hold it like this. Is it good?
Okay, yeah, this is fine for
Yeah, I was trying to
me.
get a stand. I got the stand. I was trying to get a stand, but it's not standing on the promises of God.
Cream chick, is it still echoing in 20s? I can't hear anything now. I think it's better now.
I think it's better now.
Yeah.
But it's still echoing, but I think I can hear.
Yeah. Okay. So
Okay.
let's continue. If anyone sends any more reports, I'll let you know.
Okay. So growing up in a polygamous family was a lot, and there was a lot of competition. One way or the other. It didn't affect us, but between both mothers. But one day I just realized that I just love comedy. I just want to make people laugh, whether you paid me or not. If our money was not the thing. Oh, somebody says it's still echoing. What do we do?
I
Mm,
don't know. Still echoing. It's funny, but I can
oh,
hear you loud and clear.
yeah, but I can also hear the echo. I can also hear the echo.
Are you using your earpiece?
Yes, I
Yes,
am.
you
Maybe I
are.
should remove it.
Take
Yeah.
it off and see if you'll
Okay.
be better.
Hello. Is it
Uh,
better? It's still echoing.
it's still echoing. Are your windows down?
My windows are not down.
Yeah, so you should.
I don't. Or should I bring down my windows? Do I don't know.
No, if you bring down your windows, I think it's going to be worse. The noise from outside.
So
Yeah, but can someone please let us know if it's still echoing because I can hear you.
hello,
Yeah, I can
hello.
hear you. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. If it's echoing, can we please respond? Can we please? Like I said, I still sense the echo one way or the other.
E20's cream cheek, please. Can you let us know? Is it still echoing? Modoops, you just joined. Is it echoing at your end?
We
Okay, maybe we
worship
should
you.
go on. Someone is complaining right now, so.
Okay, so I wrote. So one day I wrote down all my names. I wrote down all my first name. By the way, Saco is an acronym of all my names. My first name is
Oh,
Sunday Ayodele Chukamadu Okundalaye. Okay,
wow.
so that's how I got the name Saco, SSCO. So one afternoon, I just wrote down. I think I was inspired by the Holy because at the end, I just kept on saying nobody inspired me to write down my names like that. I just wrote down my name as a teenager, and I said, "What name do I want people to call me?" My first name is Sunday. People know me as Sunday. In the house. If you call me Ayodele outside, it means you met me back in university. So I wrote down that name that afternoon in my mother's room, and I wrote Saco. And that was how the name Saco came up, and I began to write Saco in my compound, in my father's compound. In the staircase, I'll write Saco, SSPO. I didn't know I just basically saw myself more than where I was, and I remember in Genesis 3, my father accused me my father's wife told my father that I said that if my father dies or when my father dies, that I would take over the property. And I remember that morning, my father was scolding me and saying that I'm saying it in the estate, and I never said it. I never said it. She just wanted to cause a rivalry between my dad and I. And she said, you are saying that when I die, that I'll take over. And I remember something inspiring me to say, Daddy, the property that you have, by the grace of God, when God begins to bless me, will be small compared to what I'm going to do. I didn't have a dime. He was still paying my school fees. I don't know what gave me that audacity to respond to my father. It wasn't rude, but it was just basically to say, my father, Daddy, what God is going to do for me, will be bigger than. And I tell you the truth, miraculously, I began to see the word. And since then, I realized that your word is very, very powerful. If anybody is here, you have to be careful what you say with your words. Whenever you want to say anything crazy, you must remember your words. I especially with my children right now, no matter how cranky or whatever they do in the house, I say to them, you are blessed. Even if they offend me, I say you are blessed. Even my children know, say that I'm blessed, Shabi. I say yes, I'm blessed, because the word that you speak is very powerful. What you
Yeah.
say, it will surely. So all the things that I said to myself, all the image or the picture that I saw myself big, the truth is I saw those things, but I did not know how to achieve them. So the part of mentorship came in place, the part of
Mm.
people helping me, recommending me. It was from your church, TSP. I got my first international trip to Ghana. I don't know if you
Wow.
know. My first international trip was when I met Pastor Joe Jackson. He came to minister in your church in the secret place where I anchored, and he liked what I did. And that week, he saw me. I think he saw me on a Tuesday, and he called me on a Thursday morning and said, "Can you come to Ghana this Saturday?" Just like that.
Wow.
And that was how we negotiated. And it was the first time he was going to pay me in dollars to come. And at that time, I was not even ready because I didn't have an international passport. So I had a
Mm.
meeting with him, and he says, "Send me your data page. Let me book your flight." I didn't have a passport. And he had given me part payment. And he says, "If you don't have a passport, recommend somebody for me that can come and do the event." Straight that same day, I went to do my international passport. I had to do the ECOWAS, Omolomo, because for me, it was the first trip outside Nigeria. And that was how I got to Ghana. And I had gone to Ghana twice after that time. So for me, I realized that consistency is what has brought me this far. Consistency in
Mm.
the craft, because nobody is going to appreciate you. You do it once. You have to see you do it over and over. Like you said, you've seen me do it over and over again. The consistency, where your church was paying me 1,000, 2,000, 5,000. At the time, I had to increase my money because they saw the consistency in what I was doing. Yeah, and that's been my story so far. And, it became professional for me in 2005 when I went to the University of Ilorin. And that's how God has been. That's what has helped me so far.
Okay, so what challenges have you faced in your line of work, and how did you
Well,
handle it?
one of the challenges I had, especially when I started collecting, when I was getting overwhelmed with job, is I was being underpaid. I was being underpaid. And because I was underpaid, and I had a target. So sometimes I collect 2, 3 events, and
Mm.
then I end up messing one up. I put one person, and then so I wasn't coordinated. I wasn't
Mm.
coordinated at the early stage. I had to disappoint people where people's wedding. I share this story because for me, I sat down and I realized that most people's wedding, even though yes, the person I sent did the job well, but I was the one that they employed. So one of the
Yes.
challenges I got was being overwhelmed, and then I was putting sentiment in place. Sentiment in place in the sense that this is not my fee, but because I just want to collect 1 or 2 events, I collect it and I don't do the job. I go. So for me, the message I've been preaching lately is, if you're not going to do a job, don't collect the money. I'm sure you know what
Mm.
I'm talking about. I see some people that do not greet me up to today because I messed up their event. Yes, I recommended somebody, but they saw me. They already saw me anchoring their wedding. But at the end, I sent somebody else. So for me, that's what I've learned. Those are the challenges. Being on the page, and integrity for me was a key thing. It was a key thing. And I will say to you that one of the things that influences me was had to do with peer pressure. You know, the people I associated myself with at that time did it. They did it and nothing happened. They would just send me, where Saco, go and stand in for me at a wedding. And I wouldn't even tell, the guy wouldn't even tell the people that I wasn't coming. So they would just see me 1 hour before and say, where is this so guy? I say, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. And you know what you do consistently for 21 days becomes an habit. So it became an habit for me, you know, in my mind, you know, nothing. Once the guy deliver, you know, nothing. Sometimes I'll collect balance, sometimes I'll not collect balance. But you know, as I began to realign myself and check myself that if I continue like this, you know, I might not get results. Yeah. So and that's one of the challenges, I think. Yeah.
Okay. So has comedy opened any major doors for you? Don't mind me. I'm taking notes as
Yeah.
you're giving me these points because you know what, we're here to learn as well.
Yeah. By the grace of God, comedy has opened doors for me that I never imagined in my life. Comedy took me to the US, comedy took me to Israel, comedy took me to France, comedy took me to Ghana. Comedy has taken me to places I never imagined in my life I was going to go to. Comedy took me to places I never imagined in my life I was going to go, you know. And by the grace of God, I live in my own house now, and I will say to you, it's comedy that got the money for me. Apart from the other investment, because the money I got from comedy was what I put into the other investment that I have. So comedy has given me a platform. I've gone to platforms I never imagined in my life I was going to go to.
Okay, so you're not just doing comedy right now. You've
I've been involved. I've been involved. And the word involved. I've been involved to not just restricting myself to just being a comedian. At the time, even though I'm a comedian, but I realized that I wasn't feeling like, you know, I wasn't feeling enough satisfaction. You know how the hierarchy of needs, where you get to a place and you've achieved these things, you achieve safety, and then you say after safety, self-actualization, self-esteem. So as I got into comedy, as I've seen the whole of comedy to a reasonable extent, I said to myself, after this, what more? So by the grace of God, I didn't restrict myself. So I started focusing on the corporate side of the entertainment, where I'm not just doing comedy for church again, I'm doing comedy for corporate events. And from the feedback that I get from corporate gigs, I'm sure you know, is that most of them do not like excess comedy. They don't like too much comedy. They don't like you cracking jokes at corporate events because they are scared. You know, they don't want you to you know, they are scared they've had some bad experience from some comedians, you know, so they're always scared. So my job, as I realized the feedback, because I began to observe, and I began to observe the industry, what do I need to do? My job as a corporate compare is to help save time. So that's why I began to refer myself as a compare with a sense of humor. So you can't just tag me as a comedian. I've left the level of just being a comedian. I also motivate, I also mentor young comedians. I also, not only young comedians, I have comedians or compares that are older than I am, that God has given me the privilege of mentoring. Because like I said, I'm a product of mentorship. And if not for mentors in my life, my first trip to the UK was a mentor that influenced me to go into the UK. Since 2012, I've been going to London to do events, you know, and it was what the mistakes my mentor did. He didn't want me to do the same mistake. It took him several years to get a UK visa, and he influenced me to saving, to working on my account statement, and that was how I got my first UK trip. You know, so one way or the other, I've just involved not to just being only a comedian. I've involved to be a master of ceremony. I did class. I just I just how do they, you know, so sorry, that's my friend, nothing to me. So I just not limiting myself. That's why I started this. I have the strategic mentoring program where I'm strategic about. I share with you the things that I did. I share with you the mistakes that I also did, because a lot of people share the good things that they did. I share the mistakes that I did. I share the mistakes of women, you know, that I did. I share the mistakes of integrity that I shared with you.
Let's back it up with the. I like that one.
Yes, yes.
Just
Because
what mistakes did you make? Tell me.
No, no, we got overwhelmed. You know, a lot of people like what you're doing, you know, and before you know, you begin to have female fans, and you're not able to balance it, you are distracted, and all those things. So for me, I had to share my, if at the time, in 2011, 2014, God delivered me from something that would have.
Oh no, 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 no. It's just getting interesting. Network. Hello? Oh
Hello, I'm
dear.
back. Yeah, I'm back. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had a crazy crisis in that has to do with a lady from 2011 to 2014 that was very crazy, you know, and then when God delivered me from it, you know, I had to call most of my proteges because they, you know, some of them had the story, some of them were not sure about the story, and I confided because the truth about mentorship is you must not make yourself a champion. As mentors are also vulnerable.
Yes,
Mentors are
true.
also born. They are not perfect mentors. They put things in check, but sometimes before they began to put things in check, they had mistakes. They had things that they had done. You know, they had things that they had done that, you know, one way or the other, you know, that they regretted. So for me, what I did was, yeah, yeah. So what I did was so what I did, sorry, sis Adika. So what I did was I called all my proteges. I remember calling them October 1st. It was because every October 1st is my own anniversary professionally. You know, so I called them and I said, I know you people have had so things, you've had this, but I need to tell you what the story is. And I shared with them. I used to stay in Polagoro then in Chomola, and they came to my school was very small, and I came to them. I said, I entertained them. I even gave them food, and I shared my story to them. And I told them, this is what happened, this is what happened. But the truth has come out. The truth has come out at this time, and I want to share the story. The reason why I'm sharing the story with you is I do not want any of you to do the same mistake that I did. So I told them I do not want any of you to do the same mistake that I did, and I prayed with them. I prayed with all my proteges. The one that came to my house that day. Hello?
Okay, so your wife now, was she always in the picture? Was she in the picture at that time when this other lady came to?
Okay. So she was, because my wife and I started dating in 2011. In
Okay.
2010 was when I met this lady, and you know, and one way or the other, she came as a, you know, she wants me to teach her, you know, she wants to learn the job and obviously. In my mind, I was saying, what do I know? I was just 5 years into the job, and I said, what do I know that she wants me to teach her? You know, and then I said, okay, from my experience as a secondary school student, I realized that when I teach people, especially mathematics or literature, I got better at what I'm doing. You know, I don't know if it's happened to you, where you are helping people, you know, you don't wait until you know it all.
Your
I know people say, first help yourself before you help, but at the same time, what worked for me was when I'm trying to solve a mathematics question, when I get it or I'm trying to teach somebody, the person gets better and I'm getting better. So for me, when she reached out to me and, you know, I just joined this start, then I just slept with him, then I just stay stand there. You were talking about leadership. You talked about leadership role. You know, you could be a leader at any point. You know, leaders are different. And so I said, what do I know? And I said, no problem. I'm going to teach you. And then I started. I didn't even have a car there. I think 2009 was when she met me, that she wanted me to influence her, because I remember getting my car. I think I got my car in 2009, October or 2010. You know, so she was with me in the picture when I bought the car. You know, and so when I bought the car, she said my car was giving me issue one day, and that's why we were in the car. She told me she had a crush on me. You know, the lady said she had a crush on me, and she was 4 years older than I am. So in my mind, I'm saying, how is that possible? I'm coming from a level where I have respect. You can't even open your mouth to say you want to have anything to do with somebody older than you are. You know, but
yeah,
she said she had a crush on me. In my mind, I said, that's one of those things. But you know, 2000. So when my wife met her in 2011, and as soon as she saw her, my wife said to her, you know, women are naturally intuitive. You know, my wife saw her and said she doesn't like this lady. You know, I just started dating her there. I said she doesn't like this lady. And in my mind, I'm saying, You don't know how you think. Even in my mind, I knew, as guy now, you think you can handle issue, but it became an issue in 2011, and at the end, I remember that I said to myself, I wish I listened to my wife. Okay, someone said I can't hear anything. Wow, they said they can't hear.
Okay, is there anyone else who can hear? I don't know. Let's find out. Maybe it's from her end
Let's
or
find.
something. So
Let's find
can
out.
you hear me? Can you hear
Someone
me? Is
said,
it just
someone
you
said
can't
I
hear?
can't hear anything.
It's when it's cream cheek. If you guys are still live, please let me know if you can hear us. If you can hear the guests.
Hello. Don't know about
You can hear me.
Hello.
I can hear you. We obviously can hear
Yes,
each
I
other,
can.
but
Yes, I can hear you too. I can hear you too. Okay.
okay.
She said okay. Okay. Now she can hear.
Maybe it's Sukat from my end.
So, 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 so for me, the issue it now became my wife, when it became an issue, about the relationship and everything, it was crazy at that time. Most of the staff members knew about it. It was a bad one. But in spite of it, God just made me understand that I couldn't do anything on my own. That's why most times if I'm going to travel to any place, I go with at least two of my proteges, and I tell them the reason why you're going with me is because so thing, this disease can happen, and I do not want anything like that. And that's basically how God has been sustaining me. So women could be a distraction and could also be a blessing. I've gotten a lot of jobs from women that there was no strings attached. So I'm not painting any bad picture right now. You've given me events in the past and we never had anything. Women have given me events, ladies have given me events, men have given me events and nothing. That you have to just change your mindset and know the things you want to achieve. Because the truth is, can I tell you the truth? I realize that to cheat is very expensive.
To cheat?
It's very expensive. It's
Okay.
expensive because you are scared. You're going to rent an hotel. You're going to begin to think of what to buy. You're going to think of so why would you even go ahead to say you want to cheat? It's expensive. I'll tell you the truth.
Some
You
people
can manage anything. Well, some men don't mind, but for me, I'm an Igbo Yoruba boy, so I calculate every money. So by the time I hear how much people spend for all those things, I say to myself, instead of spending those things, why don't I just use it to be a blessing? Look for a widow and give that widow 5,000, give that widow 10,000.
To do the spending. They will
So
tell
yes,
you
I know.
take care of
Yes,
everything, take care of
yes,
you.
I agree, and I'll tell you the truth. I have seen a lady tell me that. I agree. I've seen a lady tell me that she was going to get an hotel, and I said no. I stood my ground. I said no. It's crazy. It could be very tempting. I'll tell you the truth, except I want to lie to you. It could be very tempting, but at the same time, when you check around the implications and check the things that happens after that time, you just have regret. It could be very fun, very fun, but at the long run, you just ask yourself, waiting again, and waiting. So I know it's two sides. You have men, you have women. Yes, it's two sides.
Okay. Okay, now, so have you ever had a situation where you're at an event or you're doing stand-up and you crack a joke? Because I hear that you guys rehearse your jokes, yeah? So you crack a joke and nobody or a lot of people don't find it funny. Like you're not getting the response that you expect to get. What do you do?
Well, it has basically happened to all the comedians.
I'm
There's
sure.
something they call audience analysis. There are audience analysis where you check your audience. Some things that we do not do, some comedians or I did not do in the past was checking the audience. There are some jokes that will work in church that will not work in a corporate environment.
Okay.
And there are some jokes that work in a corporate environment that will not work in a church.
Yeah.
God has been faithful. I've never had a bad time in your church, but at the same time, I've had some bad time where it was as if, how you say it was as if the ground should just open. The ground should just open and, and you just
I've
get,
never
and or something.
no. I
Huh?
think we've done like 4 or 5 events together, and you've
Yeah.
always,
I
we've
know.
I've
I know.
never with you.
I know, sis, but I tell you, it has happened. It has happened to me countless time, countless time. When I
Okay, so
started, yeah.
how did you handle it?
The truth is, at the first, I might just hand over and say, especially when you crack the first joke, crack the second joke, especially when you are the MC. No, the two
Mm,
things. If you're not the MC and they bring you in to come and do comedy, it's very, and then you come in and you do not deliver, it's crazy. So it's either
wow.
you stop it, because the truth is, we want to win everything, but sometimes you might just sit back and just say, what can I do? So audience alike, you can pick up, one thing as comedian is, sometimes I just tell you, timing is also very important. The
Mm,
timing they call you as a comedian is also very important. You cannot be calling people when they are eating. You can't come to comedy when people are eating. Two things. It's either they laugh or they don't laugh because people are careful not to choke. So
yeah.
what I did was, especially when I'm the MC, when I start, especially when I drop, maybe I say, Master of Ceremony, we have a lot of advantage. So I don't just do comedy again. I just play around. I play around what is happening around in the event. Like when I come to the UK, I don't crack joke. I compare. I do comparison. I do
Mm,
comparison of the transport system in London, the transport system in Nigeria. You just basically, like my experience in Ghana. One of the things that I did in Ghana when I was going to go to Ghana for the first time, when I went there was more of observation. I did not say anything from the airport to when they put me up in the hotel. I did not converse. The only question I was asking was, where is the VI of Ghana? Where is the Ajegunle of Ghana?
okay.
So if I was going to do any comedy about the Ajegunle of Nigeria, I was going to mention the Ghanaian, the area that represents. So they understood, So most
What
times what I've learned, yes, what I've learned is, as a master say, when I crack a joke and they don't laugh, I don't bother myself cracking a joke again. I just wait. I do other things. And then I look for an opening.
okay.
From experience, what I do now is I look for, sometimes I don't even crack a joke at event. I don't look for an opening. Once I look for an opening, especially a birthday, I am on that place. Once I am on that place, that's all. I might not crack a joke again. Because the truth is, sometimes it's not everywhere that they need that they need comedy. That's the truth.
Okay.
So that's how I've been able to. But of course, it wasn't easy because once I don't crack, make people laugh, I feel very bad. I just go to the backstage. It's either I go to the toilet, I go pray, I begin to say, Holy Spirit, help me, because in fact, Holy Spirit was my guy. Holy
Really?
Spirit, please help me. Holy Spirit, help me. Especially when the fact that they paid or somebody recommended me. How it is now when somebody recommended, I say, this guy is funny and all these things. And then suddenly you don't deliver. You now start saying, I don't know what to do on this time. So for me, when it happens that now I know better, because for you to become a professional in anything you have done or anything you do, you should have done it over 10,000 hours. The
Yeah.
Malcolm Gladwell of the book Malcolm Gladwell, I think The Secret, the book The Secret, Malcolm Gladwell, the 10,000 hour rule. Anything you are doing on earth, anything you are doing as a professional, you should have done it over 10,000 hours. So all those times when we're in a choir singing, all those times when we're cracking joke and we were not listening, we're working on our hours. So hard to make people laugh sometimes. Yeah, somebody says so hard. It's very hard to make people laugh, I tell you. So for
I
me,
know.
I've just left that level of just cracking jokes to just be a compare with sense of humor and then focus on other things. Yeah. And give room for the other guys. Because the truth is, you can't be there forever. You can be a kingmaker. You can bring up all the talent, and then you'll be shocked that they will be the one promoting your name. Because when you impact yourself and multiply yourself in other people, God, you know how God multiplied himself in us. He put an atom of himself in us, and see, we're all praising God.
That's from Pastor Sam.
Yes,
He's the one that has that. Yeah, he believes in that doctrine.
yes.
Yes. Do you prefer, from what you've said, I can deduce that you prefer to be an MC than to do stand-up comedy. Am I right?
Yes, you're right. I prefer to be an MC because it gives me enough time to express myself.
Okay. As against comedy. So you don't do a lot of
As
stand-up.
I do stand up when the money is right. I stand up to it.
So how do you come about your books?
Okay, so I get my jokes now from the things I get myself a new joke from news and from statistics, from my experience, daily experience. I get my jokes from my children. When I began to have my children, when I got married to my wife, I got my jokes from the traditional wedding that I had with my wife. I had jokes from us going to deliver our children in the U.S. I had jokes from my wife having a daughter in island maternity. So I get jokes from the experiences that have happened to me. I get jokes from my traveling experience. I get jokes from different things that has to do
Okay.
with, because for me, because of the kind of jokes that I do family friendly jokes. That is my brand. I focus
Yeah.
on making jokes, not making jest of people, but making jokes to,
Settle
cracking jokes
family
about my, yes,
situations.
so yes. So a child is not there and they're saying no, we cover the child. That's what I preach. Everybody has what they preach, and that's my value system.
Okay. All
Yep.
right now. So this COVID-19 now, bros, how far? What have you learned from COVID-19? It doesn't
One of the things
necessarily
I've
be a joke, but as a whole, what has COVID-19 taught you as a compare, as a comedian, as an entrepreneur? What have you learned?
I've learned one of the things I've learned so far is that savings is also very key. Savings
Mm.
is key. I learned that you need to save, but don't feel that okay, the money is coming in and you just eat everything. Savings for me saved me this season, and also it also made me know that I needed to be proactive. Being proactive. Why can't Nigerian comedians transcend the usual Nigerian setting like Trevor Noah? Okay, okay, somebody's asking questions. Okay, so one of the things I've learned this season is, you know, involving not just to be the one-on-one crowd, but involving to be internationally recognized. We do a lot of things like you said, transcend to only Nigeria. We do a lot of things around Nigeria, and sometimes most comedians find it difficult cracking jokes to white people because you know, and that's the level where I am trusting God to get to, where I can crack a joke and a white person. Yes, I do games, I do a lot of things for white people, for outside people that are not Nigerian. But one of the things I've learned this season is content. Putting up your content online is very key
Mm.
because when everybody was saying there's a casting down, the people that had their videos on YouTube and had great followers, they were saying there's a lifting up.
Yes, true.
So for me, I learned. It gave me opportunity to read more. Some of the things that I'm sharing with you were things that I learned, even though I know them, but I learned them more during my reading and during my study in this period. And it also gave me, yeah, it also gave me an opportunity to spend more time with my family. That's what I put my focus on, because trust me, it wasn't easy. From the assessment that I did from March, because I was in the UK, I was in London for an event. I got to London March 14th, Saturday morning. I had an event on Sunday. I was in Glasgow with Mr. Tokwe Alabi. We're supposed to go to Liverpool, Manchester, and London, and the COVID-19 thing started, and all the events started canceling. Dublin started canceling, Manchester started canceling. So we had to come home, and then from that time to date, roughly about 10 million, as if I had worked from that time, at least the sum of, if I'm not exaggerating, 5 million to 7 million to 8 million should have entered my account.
Wow. So the
Yes,
business is lucrative.
by the grace of God, it's getting better, because the truth is, it's getting better. Consistency is what matters in this job. Consistency. When you see, like you said, you've known me for years. Consistency. When you are consistent and you are giving value, because you want it to be consistent and not giving value. Some people are consistently nuisance. Consistent. Some people are consistently, yes, and some people are consistent. Yes, and when you check their nuisance value, they are consistent in being a nuisance. But when you
I
are consistent in
really
doing,
believe like that.
huh? You said what?
I feel.
Yeah, yeah. So it's wanting to be consistent, intentional about what you do. So I was intentional about the jokes. I was intentional about my dressing. I was intentional about the places I went to. I was intentional about the move, because the truth is, you have to make some moves sometimes by yourself. Some people will not make some move for you. When you make those moves, people begin to say, "Oh, you are," like you said, you have seen me involved. you have to be intentional about what you do, and that's what has sustained me so far.
Okay. So I'm not seeing any more questions. Yeah, if you guys still have questions for Saco, please send them in. You've got like 10 minutes to go. And so
Yeah.
I want you to put up on Gist with Essay with some of
Yes.
your jokes. Everybody's at home now, so I'm sure that the people here are welcome to anything that will make them laugh.
Okay.
People have
So
been laughing
I'm
already.
yeah, people have been laughing already. So I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the question.
Okay.
Bidemi Olaoba is here.
Looking for question. I just the
Matter the crack joke. Okay, okay. So I'm just going to share this story. I've shared it several times. Like I said, I didn't know I didn't know I was I grew up in a polygamous family, and because of the things that I saw in the polygamous family, I was so scared of polygamy that even when I failed jam, I couldn't write polyjam because anything poly, I was scared of. I was polyphobia. I was scared. I couldn't even carry polythene bag. I can't even play Monopoly up to now because of what I went through. Because we stayed in a small room. Our room was too small that even sometimes to change our clothes, sometimes we go outside. Even to change my mind, sometimes I go outside because I felt the room was too small to change my mind.
your
My mother
mind.
would just say that. Yes, my mother would just say, "Where did you go?" I said, "I went to change my mind." I said, "What up? Why didn't you change?" I said, "The room was too small to change my mind." So, you know, and then, yeah, I share story about my children. My children are blessed. They are blessed. They tell you what they want to eat. My children are, why can't Nigerian comedians, okay, somebody say, why can't Nigerian comedians transcend Nigerian setting like Trevor Noah? The truth is, everybody, most people have gone to that level. Most people, no, I think the 5% of Nigerian comedians has evolved. The likes of Basket Mouth, the likes of Kenny Black, like myself. I have jokes that I do comparison. If you go to my YouTube channel, I've responded to your question.
He's responding to you now. It's your
Yes,
question that
I'm
he's
responding to you now. If you go to my YouTube channel, you will see some of the comedy that I've done. I was in Aberdeen. I was in Aberdeen 2 years ago, and the comedy that I did was friendly. I had to be intentional about what I did. I made it very friendly to Jam. There were Jamaicans there, there were Cameroonians there were white guys there. It was mostly Nigerians, but I did a joke to respond to the people in Aberdeen. I can't get to Aberdeen. I'm cracking a joke about. Yeah, I did a joke about Nigeria, but I did comparison. So I share my story because you can't give what you don't have. I share Trevor Noah shares his South African story. And that's the truth. He says his South African story, and he does a lot of mimicking. He mimics a lot of. He could do the Russian side. I mimic Bishop David. I had God speak to me clearly. I could do that. I had God speak to me clearly 5th of May 1989. Son, leave Kaduna and come to Lagos. Are we not here now? Foul demon from the pit of hell.
Kenny Black. Kenny Black, I don't know, is it the same? Has he really done that? I haven't watched him
No, no.
recent
Kenny,
times.
Kenny Black did an event in London that they invited me to come to do an event in London, and it was 80% white.
Okay.
It was 80% white, and the advantage of that Kenny Black has is most of his jokes are musical, so he does a lot of he does a lot of production in it. Even though his jokes, he still does some jokes, he still plays around with some jokes, but he does most of musical jokes. That does harmony and all those things, and it works for him. Yeah,
Okay.
it works for
All
him.
right.
Yeah,
Answers your question.
I've answered this question.
Yeah, you've answered your question. So, in a nutshell, you are working towards doing that now. You've already started putting that in place.
Yes, I
Of
started putting that in place.
So your material has to.
Yes, my material has to come out very well. My material has to come out very well. My material has to be international, globally recognized. And that's what. And because, like I said to you, I have other plans that I might not be able to tell you right now, but we begin to see the feedback. One of the things that I did lately with my team is we created a link for mentorship to bring in guys, because a lot of guys need mentorship. Some of them feel they don't need mentorship, but they do. And they feel they can do things on their own. They can ask Google. You can ask Google, but you don't have access. There are some things Google will not tell you. And let me tell you why Google is important. We are the people that put the things in Google. We are the people that put, human beings are the ones that put the things in Google. If we do not put it there, Google will not have it. And that's the truth. Hope you know. Hope you know that that's what happened. Yeah, Google, when you say Google it, somebody put the documents there. That's the Gigo, I think, Google and Google, Gigo, I'm trying to remember. It's a digital word. It's what you, garbage in, garbage out. I think that's what it means. You know, so it's what you put in and that you get. So for me, we could get better.
Yeah. So no more questions. I'm not seeing any more questions. So sign off for us, please.
I'd like to say thank you. Thank you so much.
Let me thank you for coming on Gist with Esse. I hope
Thank
this
you.
thing is over. We will see again, and do something live.
Yes. I look forward to coming over to see you and then, finish what we started in March.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so so please sign off for us.
Thank you so much. My name is Saco. If you're not following me on YouTube, or anyway, you're following me on Instagram, I have some videos, some nice video on my YouTube channel, TV Saco. Please subscribe. Okay, actually, I'm sure you're going to help me subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll subscribe to your own YouTube channel too. Yeah, TV Saco. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you all, and God bless you. Last joke before I go. Last joke before it goes. Last joke before it goes. Last joke before it goes. Okay. So no. I can't remember anyone right now, but I think I've just played around. Okay. Look, I remember one. Okay, so I wanted to have my daughter in the US, and then I've always said I was going to have my daughter in the US, or my first child, my children in the US, and I was excited about it until my wife was pregnant, and then we found out an hospital in the US. Until we're ready, we are ready to give birth, take her to the US until they gave us the bill. When they sent us a bill for normal delivery in the US, Texas for that matter. To the glory of God, we did not go to Texas. We went to the island. Island maternity. That's where we had my daughter. We found my wife was there for 3 days, and we spent a lot. We spent 6,500 naira. And as I speak to you, my daughter is a good Christian. A good Christian, as I tell you, is a good Christian. She's not a US citizen, but she's a global citizen. Hallelujah. I can't kill myself. When I had the amount for delivery, I said, how much? We're born in Nigeria, we are doing well by the grace of God.
How much was it?
It was about $4,000.
$4,000. Wow.
It was about 4,000 to 5,000. Well, when we checked, it was about 4 million. In my mind, I'm saying, but I'll tell you the truth. It wasn't the money that matters. Yeah, we applied 2 times. They rejected us twice. They rejected us in the US twice. But me, I did not buy into the idea of giving birth abroad. I didn't buy into the idea. I didn't buy into the idea the first time. But by the grace of God, two of my sons were born in the US. I know better now. So we're making plans for my daughter, to at least to balance, because she's been asking us questions. Why was she born and then information. One of the things I've learned also is we hear the word information is power, right? Have you heard of the word information is power?
Yeah.
Information is not power. Information is potential power until you put action into the information you've gotten. So you hear the word information is power. Information is not power. Information is potential power until you put an action into it. So a lot of us get information, but we don't put action into it. We did not get the information of what it takes to go to the US. If I wanted to have my daughter in Canada, but we did not have the information. The information we had was not enough. We had different people tell us, but now we know better. So for me, anything you're learning right now, you can learn them, but put action into it. That's the best thing you could do for yourself.
Sure.
Yes.
Action is what determines results, right?
Yes, actually, what is determines results. It's not about those information. Yeah.
It's okay. Too much sense. Thank you very
You're
much. Just joining
welcome.
us, coming up in a minute. So we're going to say thank you very much, Saco, for coming.
Thank
I
you.
wish you had known. I would have just kept you for 30, asking questions for 30 minutes and let you do comedy for 30 minutes because I have been opportune to be with you where you compare events before. And I know for a fact that I'll be there coordinating my ushers and I will stop and
And
I'll
you'll be
start laughing
laughing.
myself
Yes,
and I'll start
yes,
laughing.
yes. I've seen you do that before. Yeah, I've seen you do that. But to
So
receive
yeah,
information, yeah,
thank you
yeah, yes.
so much for
Thank you.
coming. It was a pleasure to
Thank you
have
so
you.
much. Thank you. Let me put up hashtag TV Saco.
Yeah, I'll put it on my page.
Yeah. TV Saco, please. Just I'm trying to build more on the YouTube channel, and I have great videos on my YouTube channel also. So you'll see how funny I am. Okay, that's the English. You know, in
Um,
English can be so English can be so helpful. The process of come is came. The process of become is what? The
became
process of
now.
become is, and the process of welcome is what?
Welcome.
So you are welcome. You are welcome. Yeah, it's welcome. Constance Jones, Limitless. Thank you
You
so
know,
much.
my
I appreciate you.
the British that invented English, they can't speak English because a lot of
At all.
their, I'm telling you, yeah, it's been
It's not.
so much fun having you on Sako. Thank you for coming.
Thank you
And
so much. I
everyone,
appreciate you.
thank you, Sukat. Thank you for joining us on Gist with Essay today. Until the next time on Gist with Essay, remember, stay positive, stay happy, stay
Yeah.
mended.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, sis. God bless you.
God bless you too.
Bye.
Bye.